L28, structured data type continued. In the last lecture, I have already introduced you to structured data type, and we worked on a problem of an employee. We created a structure containing employee IDs, his name, and the basic salary. We calculate the DHRA, etc., and gross and net salary. And we presented the payslip. Today, let us get into one more very interesting problem. So using the structure, we will create a new data type to store data of student. One student, then we will do it for multiple students. And then process the information and display the marks card for one student. That is what we are going to do. Very easy, very simple, since you have already been introduced to structured data type. The first question is therefore, how am I going to represent the structure? And this is the problem. You see, using structure to process student information, input register number, name, marks in 3 subjects, and assign, now in this case, for saying uh, his grade, etc. What we will do is we have a variable called result. Into that we will put a code. If the person gets above 80 and above, then we say result code is equal to 0. If he gets first class, it is 1, second class it is 2, third class it is 3. If he fails, we put -1. Therefore here I have got the new data type called student, because it's a type def structure student type. This is the tag, you remember, and we have different variables here. Student ID, name of the student, marks in 3 subjects, the total, average is float, and int result. So 0 for distinction, 1 for first class, etc., etc. So let us see now how we are going to proceed with this. So this is going to be the structure of my program. First, I am going to create a data variable, structured data variable or record variable S as a student space S. So naturally S becomes my variable which has SID, name, marks in 3 subjects, etc., etc., all those information. So the programs, of course, as usual, you clear the screen and give the name for that, maybe name of the college, student marks card, etc. Then first part would be to enter student data. That data will go into that structure. What is the data? First of all, student ID, student name, and marks in 3 subjects. That is the data we are going to feed into. Then immediately it has to process. It has to take marks and find the total, and then it has to find the average, and then decide whether the person has got distinction, first class, second class, etc. So that would be the first part of the program. Then we again clear the screen because we want to print the marks card for this student. Therefore, we say St. Joseph's College Autonomous, and then we say give the student ID and student name here, as you see, s.sid, s.name. We print that and print all the other fields. And at the end, we say if the person has result is equal to 0, then he says a distinction. If you have result is equal to 1, here printf, use first class, etc. So that is what we are going to do. So this is the complete C main of my C program, where I start with the declaring this variable. And you remember, before that we have to get the structure. We have to declare that structure for student, type def, etc. So that is what we are going to do. So here you have got the complete program. So for example, this is my record data type, structured data type def struct, student type, this is the tag, SID, name, marks in 3 subjects, and total, average, and result. And with that we use student S. Then I clear student information system. Then input data. So I input student ID, ampersand, please remember. Then I come to name. Name is a character variable, character array. Therefore, no ampersand here, percentage S. Marks in 3 subjects, and I'm inputting only that much I input. Then I find the total, we find the average, and then we decide. Now this has been done already, the first fourth class or so, where when we learned conditional statement, if statement. First I want to decide whether the person has passed. To pass, he has to get more than 35 in each of the subject and more than equal to 40 in the average. Then he has passed. Otherwise, here you get he has failed. And then you decide whether he has got distinction or first class or second class or third class. So if average, S average is greater than equal to 80, that's first, his distinction, etc. So this is the first part of the main program, where we input data and process that data to give information about the student. Now all that is there in the structure. We have got only one structure for one student now. Later we will do for more students. At the moment we understand this. First we have inputting data, and we are processing data to find out whether the person has got distinction, first class, second class, or third class, etc. And with that we go to the second part of the program. So we have done here, and we clear the screen, we print the marks card here. We print the marks card. First, what we do, we print the name of the person, and ID of the person, and name of the person. Then marks in three subjects. Then print the total, then average, etc. And then you say if he has result is equal to 0, the person has passed. Then name will come, has passed with distinction. He has passed with first class, grade A, grade B, grade C. He has failed. So this is how you're going to print your marks card. And here you have got the samples of the marks card. For example, St. Joseph's College marks card, student ID is there and the name is there, and the marks in three subjects, and then total is there, average obtained. And as you see, he has got 80%, therefore 80 and above is distinction. The Ashok has passed with distinction. Consider this now, 60 but 30 has got, less than 35, therefore the person has to fail, and therefore Mr. Rajshekhar has failed in the examination. So this is how we are going to input data into a structure and then process that data and display the marks card. Quite interesting. Now we are going to develop the next program, which will have contain it will be for multiple persons, more than one person, and immediately I am going to introduce that to you now. So for example, now write C program using, now this is the next, using function subprograms to input student data into an array of record variables and process the data to print consolidated results and individual marks card. So we are going to write a menu driven program to do this, and this is going to be the menu. So a menu will be there, St. Joseph's College Student Information System menu, enter student data. So here we will be calling that input data function, then print marks card, individual marks card, and student, this is print student consolidated report of the whole class. And then if you press 4, you will exit. If you enter 1, you will come to this module. If you enter 2, it will print marks card. If you enter 3, it is going to, if you enter any other number, it has to come to menu. So that is, you have to remember that. So this is the first menu. Then this is the consolidated marks card, consolidated, the third option there. So it has to give the register number, name, physics, chemistry, maths, total marks, average, and here result, whether he has got A or he has failed, etc. So this is what the consolidated marks card, or it may be just the marks card as we have done in the early exercise, just the marks card. So you give that option 2 or 3, and then immediately gives the marks card. ID will be printed, name of the person will be printed. If that ID is not there, it has to search through the database. If it is ID is not there, you say sorry, the person's information is not there in the database. So it has passed grade A. So this is what you have to do, and that is going to be your assignment for the next few hours. Kindly go through the process again and see how you can make do the information system for multiple students in the class. Here I'm showing you how the function prototypes. Function prototypes. You have to write function menu to display that. I've shown you already. Function input data. So you have already done input data earlier. That has to be converted into this input student data function. Display results. This is consolidated result. So I have given you. So you have to give this pattern. All the information is there in the structures. So you have to just print that information. So that is what you have to do. And then we say display results and display marks card. That is this marks card. You have to, whatever you have written earlier, same thing to be written, but for the individual student, you have to search the database, find that particular record, and then print marks card for that person. So your program is going to be like this. Now I'm going to talk about it in the next lecture. See, you have to create an array of structures. Till now, we did student S, that is for one person. Now we have to create in this case for 20 persons, and then int n will be the total number of students present in the class. So please remember that this is what you have to do, and then you write the code, complete code for the main program using functions, using various options, using switch statement or if statement, uh, and then all these functions, the code for these functions will come at the end of this main. So this is will give you an idea how you are going to write this program. So thank you.